Welcome to Scuderia Ferrari Racing News. In the run-up to the Indian Grand Prix, Neil Martin, in charge for racing strategies management and development, and Gabriele Delicolli, in charge for the F1 simulator facilities, explain how the team prepares a race on a brand new track at the Buddha International Circuit in New Delhi.
For a new race, such as India, we are left in the situation, obviously, where there is no historic data. So preparations for a new track begin several months before we actually turn up at the venue itself. This manifests itself in the simulator, whereby we need to generate a virtual track to drive around. Now, much like the builders of the circuit itself, we are left with CAD drawings in which to reconstruct the circuit. When you've reconstructed the circuit, you then bring the drivers into the simulator where they drive a few laps. When they drive their laps around it, we can then measure the forces or the virtual forces on the car. And that, when you see those virtual forces, you then can say, okay, this will give so much load on the tyres. You then compare the load on the tyres with the macro roughness you get as tyre information. Once you compare the forces and the macro roughness of the tarmac, it is then possible to work out the wear life of the tyres. So you then got a crucial component of how we go racing, how the tyre is going to wear over time. Once you've got the tyre wear, you can then feed it into the normal process and normal simulations we run to configure the car for a race event. Whilst the car does evolve over the season, it would be fair to say that the amount of tyre degradation, for example, you have will only vary by 1 or 2 laps. There is not a significant amount of difference between a car at the beginning of the season and the car at the end in terms of the tyre degradation. I think in terms of running on the circuit, previous history is always an advantage, and what we will be doing is when we turn up to India, we'll be looking at our Friday practice runs and cross-correlating it with our simulator results. Not really. All teams are, as we all know, issued with 2 sets of tyres, and as a direct result of that, you play it to the strengths of your car. We are softer on degradation than other teams towards the end of a stint, and therefore stronger, and we've been able to use that to our advantage to gain places on the track in most events this season. Yes, for a new track, obviously you have to do a lot more simulations because there are a lot more unknowns. And when you run those simulations, you're looking for stable solutions. So when parameters change, such as how much does tyre degradation have to change before it fundamentally alters our approach we'll take to the race weekend. So it's the same type of problem, but a degree more difficult than if we'd raced there previously. The word simulation and simulator are generally overused in Formula 1 and to mean the same things and different things. The reality is there are a number of types of things which comes under the umbrella simulation. So at one extreme you have the physical simulator, and that's a hardware driver in the loop object which is used on and before every race weekend. At the other end, it's a running of mathematical equations on a standalone computer. It's just a set of algorithms which are being run to find the optimal racing line or to work out how in danger we are at being overtaken if someone activates their DRS. How far back does a car need to be before you can overtake? That is just a software application which has got vehicle dynamics embedded into it.
Normally, to prepare a race on a new track on the simulator, we first go through an initial work of modeling the track, that will be used on the simulator. The modellation of the track is done using CAD drawing, data, pictures, and sometimes laser scan of the track. Once we have done the model, we are able to drive on the new track, and we do an initial study of which is the ideal setup using some offline simulation to prepare the initial setup. Then we transfer the data and the information that we got from this kind of simulation on the simulator, and this is the starting point to develop the car setup with the race driver on the simulator. Yes, we had a good session after the Italian Grand Prix. Both Fernando and Felipe drove in India. They really enjoyed the track. They actually found that the track is quite different from a normal track. And also this year we start for the first time to give the possibility to the driver academy pilots to use the simulator. In this respect, Sergio Perez has driven as well the track in India, basically to learn the layout. Yes, the circuit is very different from all the other circuits because they decided to give a very peculiar layout to the track. So we have a lot of up and down, uphill and downhill section, and also mainly all the corner has got a lot of camber. So you basically, more than camber is banking, is rear banking. And the other characteristic of the track is that many of the braking and turning into the corner are blind. So I think there is a possible advantage by learning the track before going there, because the driver will not be completely new to this kind of new layout. The overtaking, I think one of the characteristics of the track is that there are two long straight with a very tight corner before. So I think with the possibility of using DRS, the overtaking will be quite easy, and I think will make the challenge very interesting. The daily program is to have normally we do 1 day of testing, is start at around 9 o'clock in the morning and finish at 3 o'clock, 3:30. We normally do 15 runs for a total of 70 lamps, 70-75 lamps. And we have, depending on the kind of work that we want to do, we have a session dedicated to car development, and that means that we have a basic setup on which we try different options that are the solution that we want to introduce on the car to improve the performance. If we have a session for a new track, we have a basic setup, and then most of the work is dedicated to the driver learning and to understand if the circuit has got some characteristic that has been explored before, and just to understand which can be possible direction to develop the setup during the race weekend. We have the team is we have a group of test driver with different experience. We have Bianchi, Andrea Bertolini and Davide Rigona. That's our test driver, and they are basically involved in developing the simulator and the model, and to select the best option we want to try. Then the final decision is always given to the race driver, Felipe or Fernando, that they are coming normally they have one session a month basically on the simulator, and they have the possibility to validate the test that we've done before with the test driver. The simulator driver are basically both Fernando and Felipe have got something more compared to the others, also because I think they really know very well the car. And the other three drivers, they do an excellent work they are really very close in terms of feedback, but the final, the speed and the final, the really final performance is always found by the two race drivers. At the end, it's very close to what has been, what was done with the test driver on a normal test with the race, with the rear car. It's different. Here is can be, I mean, on the track is for me it's a bit more simple because you have the car and sometimes it's much easier to understand what you're doing. On the simulator, everything is a bit more, you need to be more precise and more, pay more attention to all how the model is configured and if everything works like you expect. And the main difficult part of the work is to find a good correlation with the rear car, because as is normal with the model, with the mathematical model, you always need to find a good confidence in the result that you find by calculation and on the rear car.
The life of a test driver can throw up many surprises, as Jules Bianchi well knows. We asked to the young Frenchman to try his hand at assembling a Formula One car. Let's see how he got on.
Andiamo? Andiamo? Va bene, andiamo. Andiamo fuori? Vabbè, ciao. Ciao. Let's go!
That's it for now. See you next time.